Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're diving into something pretty radical, a completely new way to think about stress, sleep, and what your dreams are really for. And it's all based on some fascinating science.
So let me just throw this out there. What if stress wasn't just a feeling? What if it physically bent your brain, and your dreams were literally the process of your brain bending back into shape? That's the wild idea at the heart of something called the Brain Kinematics Model, and it could change everything we think we know about how we handle the pressure of daily life.
Okay, so to really get this, you've got to throw out the old idea of the brain as just a computer. Instead, I want you to picture it as a physical thing. The source material suggests thinking of it like, well, like a super high-tech sponge, or maybe a piece of memory foam.
Now, the key concept here is a big word, viscoelasticity. But don't worry, it sounds way more complicated than it is. It really just means that the material of our brain has two different ways it can respond when it's put under pressure. One way is fast, and the other is slow. So check this out. The elastic response, that's instant. Think about a rubber ball. You squeeze it, it snaps right back. Easy. But then there's the viscous response. That's the slow, delayed one. It's like when you press your hand into a memory foam pillow. It doesn't snap back, right? It kind of oozes back into shape. And the incredible thing is, the research shows our brain tissue does both of these things.
And here's the absolute mind bender. All day long, every sight, every sound, every emotional pressure, every single thought, it doesn't just vanish into thin air. It actually leaves a physical imprint on your brain tissue. It's like your brain is absorbing and storing all that pressure as what the model calls viscous energy.
All right, so let's get into this cycle. If your brain is soaking up stress all day like a sponge, you've got to be asking, how does it wring itself out? Well, this is where sleep comes in and becomes the absolute hero of our story.
Get this. The average person has something like 50,000 thoughts a day. 50,000. And according to this model, every single one of those thoughts, no matter how small, leaves behind a tiny little bit of that stress residue. All of it has to be processed, it has to be cleared out.
So here's how the nightly reset works. During the day, all that stress gets bundled up into what the model calls strain packages. Then, when you fall into that deep, non-REM sleep, your brain starts a big general cleanup. It's like a first pass. But the really detailed fine-tuning work, that happens during REM sleep. And that super specific targeted release of leftover stress, that is what we experience as dreams.
And there's a great example of this in the source material. Let's say you have an embarrassing moment during the day. Maybe you mispronounce a word and feel humiliated. That stress doesn't just disappear, it gets physically stored. And then later that night, it gets processed in a dream where maybe you're giving a perfect speech, speaking fluently. The dream is literally resolving that specific bit of stress.
So what does this all mean? It means your dreams are not just random, meaningless nonsense. They are a vital, necessary, physiological process. Think of it like this. They are your brain's built-in maintenance crew, showing up every night to release the pressure and keep everything healthy and balanced.
Okay, so if dreaming is this amazing automatic healing process, it kind of begs the question, right? Can we get involved? Can we make it even more effective? Well, the research says absolutely yes, and this is where things get really interesting.
And this is the really powerful practical part. Your brain is already running this incredible stress relief program every single night while you sleep. The question is, can you consciously step in? Can you actually participate in that process and guide it for your own benefit?
It turns out you can. By doing things like keeping a dream journal or even learning techniques like lucid dreaming, that's where you actually become aware that you're dreaming while you're dreaming, you can become an active partner in your own healing. And the potential benefits here are just staggering. We're talking about reducing the emotional charge from old memories, literally restructuring your own subconscious beliefs, and even boosting your creativity.
Lucid dreaming expert Robert Wagner puts it perfectly. He says that when you engage with your dreams this way, it's not just some cool party trick. It fundamentally changes the relationship you have with your own mind. You're opening up this direct line of communication between your conscious, waking self and your unconscious, sleeping self.
All of this leads to a huge, really empowering shift in how we see dreams. It's about taking dreaming from this weird fringe topic in psychology and putting it right where it belongs, at the absolute center of our mental and emotional well-being. So, let's just break it down. We're shifting from the old view, that dreams are just random, meaningless brain static that we passively watch, to this incredible new model,
a model where dreams are a structured, meaningful, and totally crucial part of how we work. It's a nightly healing session, a rebalancing act, and the best part is we can actually get involved.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Your dreams aren't just happening to you, they are happening for you. It's your brain doing its nightly maintenance to keep itself in shape. And that leaves us with one final, and I think pretty profound question. What could you learn? What could you heal? What could you create if you just started paying attention?